As you can see, what's really important to understand is the crusade against Cathars is not just a religious crusade. It's also one of geopolitics, where the local lords resent the power of the Catholic Church, and so they support the Cathars, okay? All right, so, and this is going to happen throughout Europe. So the response of the Church is to establish a new society led by Francis of Assisi called the Dominicans, okay, the Dominicans, which goes and basically tries to figure out who the Cathars are, okay, by interrogating everyone. All right, and this leads to, of course, the Inquisition, okay. And so the idea is that if you disagree with church orthodoxy, they will figure it out. And if you refuse to recant, if you refuse to obey, they will burn you at the stake, okay? So at this time in history, because of the Inquisition, because of the power of the Catholic Church, Western Europe is one of the least innovative places in the world, okay? All right, and at first this is fine, but eventually bad things start to happen in Europe, okay? So the little ice age begins, then you have the Great Famine, then you have more wars, then you have banditry, okay? And then of course you have the Black Death. So if the Catholic Church represents the will of God, and all this is happening, then is God really happy with the Catholic Church, right? So this is a Black Death, which kills about a third of the European population. And people, because they're religious, they think that this is the will of God. It's because the Catholic Church, it's corrupt, it's evil, it's stagnant. That's why God is punishing us, okay? And this will lead to conflict within Europe, where the Catholic Church is actually broken into different parts as well, okay? So there are some who believe that Rome is the true center of the Catholic Church, but there are other people who believe that Avignon, okay, is the true center of the Catholic Church. And this creates even more legitimacy problems with the Catholic Church. All right, and then you have individuals who will emerge to challenge the orthodoxy of the Catholic Church, okay? So this is Fray Dosina, we won't read. John Wycliffe is a British person who was, he was not punished when he was alive, but afterwards, after he died, they decided he was a heretic. So what they did was they dug up his body and then burned him at the stake to make sure he burned in hell, okay? Jiang Xueqin will lead a revolution, okay? And this is called the Husic Wars. And none of them succeed, but then another man will emerge called Martin Luther, who will eventually lead a successful revolution against Catholic Church, and this is called Protestantism, okay? And we'll discuss Martin Luther next class. Next class we'll discuss the rise of capitalism, all right? Any questions, guys? Yes?
Like, there's a case of my mother's friend telling me that she, her husband has a severe cancer, and they try to pray to the Catholic Church, and like later the cancer just disappears, and they said it is miracle by the Catholic Church, and they all believe in the Catholic Church. Can it explain the miracle? Like, is there really miracle there?
Okay, yeah, okay, that's a good question, okay. So this is what we call the placebo effect, okay? The placebo effect is basically, you feel really sick, and you're like, doctor, I'm really sick, I'm gonna die. Is there any medicine that can save me? And I'm a doctor, and I don't wanna say there is no medicine. So I say, okay, well, here's a medicine, okay? It might help you, but this medicine does nothing. You take this medicine, and then you feel better. You get better, and this happens a lot. Okay, it's called the placebo effect. So why does this happen? It happens because if you understand that mind leads to matter, then your reality is shaped by your perception, your belief. Okay? So if you believe that this medicine can improve your body, then it will have effects, okay? The question though is, how much do you really believe in this medicine? Okay? So you can argue that cancer, it's really a question of loss of faith. What is cancer? Cancer is a splitting of cells, right? So why is your body literally falling apart? It's because you've stopped believing in yourself. You've stopped believing in the purpose of life. You've stopped believing that you have relevance in the world. Okay? So when you say, I want to cure my cancer, what you're really saying is, I want to find a new faith. I want to believe in myself again. I want to reestablish my relevance in the world. Okay, does that make sense? So you have that desire. When you have that desire, then the cure makes sense. Okay?
So
another way of saying this is, okay, let's just say that you don't feel well, right? Well, if your parents make you go see a psychiatrist, you probably won't feel better. But if you yourself want to get better and you go see a psychiatrist, you'll probably get better. Okay? So why this person, why he or she improved his or her cancer is because of faith. Okay? She wanted to get better. So if you're able to orientate your mind in a certain way, you're capable of tremendous miracles. Another idea is the idea of meditation, right? If you're able to control your thoughts, if you're able to calm yourself down, your body will heal a lot faster. Okay? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Any more questions? Okay, great. So next class, we will discuss capitalism.